Hello and welcome to Parently, where we tap into the unique experiences and perspectives of parents to celebrate the joys and honor the challenges of child rearing. With new interviews each week, this is a podcast for moms and dads seeking an empowering community and a little levity. Now here's your host, Kelsey Higgins.
Hello and welcome to Parently. Today's guest is Jamie Richardson. Jamie, welcome to Parently.
Thank you.
You're just very trusting to come to some stranger's basement and not get murdered. I mean, the day is young.
You know, it was. Yeah, right? Who knows what'll happen the rest of the day?
Oh, I'm excited. How do you feel about the podcast? Are you nervous?
I am
excited?
a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm nervous, but that's only because I'm pretty open and I might just put my foot in my mouth.
This is going to be juicy. I can tell. The listeners are already like, okay,
right.
put your foot in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. This will be fun. So Jamie, I invited Jamie on because she has a couple of really cool topics. She was actually recommended to me by somebody who thought that she would be a great guest. So I'm excited to kind of dive into everything. Before I do that, Jamie, why don't you just set a little bit of background? Tell me about you, where you grew up, your family, friends, career, whatever you want to share.
Okay. I grew up in Minnesota, up by Anoka, Minnesota in St. Francis.
Sure. Halloween capital of the world, Anoka?
Near there. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Near there. Not actually in Anoka, but a smaller town than that. I come from a broken family. My parents were divorced when I was 2. I have a sister who's 6 years older than me and a brother who's 11 months older than me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Catholic twins, you know. And very close with them. I also have a half-sister that we've known for 20-some years.
Wow.
She lives in Indiana.
Okay.
So she's also older than I am. And yeah, we have a very close family. My mom's still living. She lives in St. Paul. She remarried when I was 6, and so I had a great stepdad until I was about 13, and then they divorced.
Oh.
But he was much needed in our life, and I think helped kind of mold me into knowing that I would be okay being a step-parent or a bonus parent. So he brought much needed discipline, although at the time we didn't like it.
Sure.
Looking back after the fact, it's like, oh, he brought what we needed in the mix. I was the only kid in our family to go to college. I went to Winona State. I have a degree in education and dance.
Oh, cool.
And then I just kind of lived like a crazy life. My sister and my brother got married really young and had kids really young. All of my nieces and nephews are all adults.
Okay.
In their 30s.
Okay.
I moved away. I lived in Boulder, danced with a professional dance company.
Cool.
Had my own business, moved back home, ended up working in retail because it paid the bills more than being a professional dancer or an educator. So I worked retail. I lived in Atlanta. I lived in Indianapolis. I kept moving away and then coming back home. And then I've landed as an executive assistant at Medtronic.
Okay, cool.
And have been there for over 10 years. Love my job, love the people I work with. But had more of a professional experience and kind of lived a lot of lives, as my mom would say and my sister would say. I've lived a lot of lives until I got married when I was 33. And actually, that's when I lived in Indianapolis. My ex-husband is from there. And so we were married for about six years.
Okay.
And did not have any kids, not without trying. We did. I miscarried twins, and then our marriage just didn't work out. So I moved home which was very unfortunate. It was really hard. I am a person of faith, and we just did everything, at least in my mind, we did everything the way we were supposed to. Like, we abstained, we didn't live together before we got married, all of the things.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't what it was supposed to be. I made lots of mistakes. He made mistakes. And so I ended up coming home, and I was really broken when I came home. Because no one ever gets married thinking that, or wanting to ever get divorced, especially when you're a kid of divorced parents. You're like, I'm not ever doing that. Because it feels like a death. Like it's really hard to go through that and manage that. And so I came home and did lots of counseling and, I already knew my now husband. That's a whole crazy story in and of itself.
Ooh, we're going to get into that.
Yeah. So that's, and then now I'm a bonus mom to 2 fabulous kids and also a mom to another fabulous kid who's a teenager, 13-year-old.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So how old were you when you got married the second time?
41.
And then you had your daughter when you were...
42.
Wow.
Yes.
And then you became a bonus mom I guess when you got married.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your daughter, Avery.
Yes.
You had miscarried previously. Did you have her yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, when Bill and when we got together, he said, he had gone through his own challenges with marriage and divorce and has his own story with that. And having Jane and Jackson, he was like, if we're going to be together, you need to know that I'm done having kids. And I'm like, I'm 40. I don't need to have kids. Like, I think that ship has sailed. That's okay. I would rather be with the right person than be with the wrong person and have, just to have kids. So we got together and we dated for about seven months before we introduced me to the kids.
Okay.
Because we wanted to make sure we were something serious before we introduced another person in their life that might not be there, right? So yeah, and then I was fine not becoming a mom. Like and honestly, I didn't even know if I could. And then he was like, then as we were together and as I was with the kids, and he's like, oh, you're so good with these kids. Like, you need to be a mom. And I'm like, no, I think we're good. we have the kids half the time. Like, we have Jane and Jackson half the time. And I was like, half the time, we don't get to worry about where we have to be at a certain time.
Sure.
Or like our time is our own.
It's very different.
Yeah, it is. But then, God had another plan because we didn't plan Avery, and then she came.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A blessing.
Yes. Oh, I would not have it any other way.
Okay, I'm going to take a step back.
Yes.
Did you then live with Bill before you married him? Did you do it different the second time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was 6 months pregnant when we got married.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did everything.
Yeah, we did it all. We were all messy. Yeah, because we were, I just thought, you know what, we don't have to make decisions based on the fact that I'm having your child. And he's like, well, no, I want that to be our path. Like, we're good. And it's so funny because when Avery sees our wedding pictures, I have a belly. She's like, yeah, I was at your wedding. Like, she loves to be able to say that she was there.
That's sweet.
And because, Jane and Jackson are in the pictures. And
sure.
So, it was messy. It was messy. We were a hot mess.
Well, tell me a little bit about how you guys came together, because you said that that's a whole story in itself. Where did you meet?
So one of the lives that I lived was I was a youth director. And
You have a very storied past.
it is. It is.
It's all over the map.
It is. And so I went through tent maker ministry training, and I got a job up in Ramsey as the associate youth director.
Okay.
And so they're like, just come love on these kids. They lost their youth director of many years. He moved down to Florida. Like, just come be here. And we'll find the head youth director at some point, and, but just come and love on these kids. I'm like, okay, which I did. And I didn't have any boundaries. Like, my mom's like, put a bed in your office because you're always at church.
Oh.
You're always available to these kids. And that's just what I did. So I did that for a year without any other guidance. Like, I didn't have a head youth director.
Okay.
So then they hired Bill, my now husband.
Oh.
So they hired him as the youth director, and he was my boss. And I did not like him. He had a great personality. Sure. He had very great in front of the room, very great with the youth. I mean, he was amazing. But he was all about boundaries. He was like, no, the kids need to have an appointment to see us. They need to have some boundaries. And I didn't know anything about boundaries. And I'm like, I'm just loving on these kids. I don't know what you're talking about. So that was a challenge for us. But then it was and we worked together for about a year and a half or so. And then I met my future husband then, during that time.
Your ex-husband.
My ex-husband. And then
see.
I moved away.
So you knew Bill before your ex-husband?
I knew Bill before my ex-husband.
Okay.
So then I moved away, went through all of that stuff for 6 years. I came home, and in the meantime, Bill had gone through a bunch of his own stuff, and he was a financial advisor. And so I came home. He called me out of the blue, and he's like, I can't believe that you're on my list, but because I still had my 401k from when I worked at church.
Oh.
So I ended up on his list as client. And he's like, seriously, how can this even be? And so then he ended up being my financial advisor for 5 seconds. And and then we were just friends. I mean, we were really just friends. He was married to Amanda at the time. And he had a lot of friends that were women. Like, it wasn't weird to me that I was one of his closest friends, and
Sure.
we talked all the time, and previous coworkers, and also he's younger than me, 6 years younger than me. It was never anything, and again, he was married. And then I continued to go on with my life, and I was dating people and shouldn't have been dating yet, and still going through my counseling after being divorced. And then he and Amanda split up, and he was broken, and just, we were just friends and just talked a lot. And that was one of the things that was hard in my first marriage, is my ex-husband didn't really know himself, and couldn't talk about his feelings, couldn't talk, and I was like the fixer of everything. So,
Sure.
I just barreled through and tried to fix all the stuff, which again didn't work. So then Bill and I were just friends continued our friendship for a long time. And then as I watched him love his kids, there was a switch that kind of flipped in me, that it was like, oh, I think I could be attracted to this person, because look at how much he loves his kids. And I had a dad who I knew loved me, but he didn't show up for stuff.
Sure.
Like he just,
Yeah.
wasn't there. Didn't make a lot of effort. And here is this guy that just would do anything for his kids. And so then we would just hang out, and then we,
Turn spicy.
turn spicy. It turned spicy. Yes, that's a good way to put it. It turned spicy. Yes. So, yeah.
How did you feel during you were obviously very attracted to how he was as a father.
Yeah.
How did you feel during the time you were dating and kind of navigating like what your role was as their dad's girlfriend, but still knowing, of course, there's a mom in the picture and like discipline? Like, how did you guys navigate kind of those things? I know I'm asking you to think back a little ways.
No, it's in the beginning. I mean, because Jackson and Jane were 4 and 2
Little.
when they have never not known me in their life. So, and the reality is, like, women just have a different way of navigating and managing and organizing life. And so he needed me. Like, he needed me in a different way than as the kids grew up. So, I mean, and we both came from stricter parents.
Okay.
Like, we were very, like, I don't know, my parents were very strict. And, so I had to let some things go. Like, the kids my husband would, Bill would tease me about the fact that I was like, turn the lights off, shut the door, shut the cabinets, like, turn the lights off. Like, that was we would get in fights in the beginning because it drove me crazy that the kids wouldn't turn the lights off.
Yep.
Or he wouldn't turn the lights off. Because I grew up in a family that is like, you got in trouble if you left lights on. And, like, that was a thing.
Yeah.
So, so I had to learn to let go of some things. And although now he would tell you that he turns the lights off and whatever.
He's come down to the right side.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So the kids, maybe not so much. But, but yeah, so we had to navigate a lot. And I had to let go of some things. And just also, especially with Jane and Jackson, I had to be careful and not step on anybody's toes, but also be like, okay, well, I'm in this space and I need to also figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So when Avery came along,
yes,
it's a little bit of a different dynamic because that's your and Bill's child versus being the bonus mom, stepmom.
Yeah.
But half the time they're all in the same house. So I presume you tried to kind of hold them to the same standards, or was it different because you're trying to also honor another set of parents? Like, how did that work?
Yes.
Yes to the above.
Yeah. Yes. All of those things. It was hard to manage because it was just like, here's how it is in our house. And we just had to navigate in our 4 walls. Like, this is what it was like in our house, and these are the expectations, and this is what we do. And then have it just be okay that if it isn't that way somewhere else, that's okay. Like, but this is how the Richardson household operates.
Sure.
Here's the cost of being a Richardson.
Yeah.
Is you got to put the dishes away from the dishwasher. Avery, like, drives her crazy. Like, Mom, why do I have to do that? Because it's the cost of being a Richardson. Well, don't I get money for that? Like, don't I get allowance? No, that part is just the cost of being a Richardson.
You get a roof over your head.
Yeah, that's right. You get to live here and you get to eat some food. No, the hardest thing, I'm not going to get emotional. The hardest thing actually was missing Jane and Jackson when they weren't with us. And watching watching Avery miss them. Because I would put, like, and if we changed the cadence ever, or if there's something came up, and because Avery knew, even at a super young age, it's like, oh, we get Jane and Jackson tonight. Like, Jane and Jackson are coming today. And then if something changed and they weren't coming, then, I mean, there were tears. Like, she's like, well, but I want Jane and Jackson to be here. So that part was hard to navigate, the emotional part of that. So I think the hardest thing in the beginning for me was that my time wasn't my own. Like, I didn't become a bonus mom until I was 41.
You were very
I didn't
used
become
to...
a full mom till I was 42. Like, my time was always mine. I could come and go whenever. And all of a sudden, now we have, 2 kids half the time, and navigating when we pick them up, when we have to bring them back, what that looks like, what their activities are. Like,
That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
Huge. Do you feel like did you struggle with your identity at all because you had always been a certain way, and then as a mom, you're kind of given a new identity?
I don't know so much if it was an identity thing. It was just a navigating life thing. It was just, there just was so much complexity. And then when Avery was in the mix, then the complexity got bigger. And I think the hardest, if I were to go back and look at it in the moment, I was so caught up in how different it was for me, being 40-some years old, all of this change, all of this complexity. And yes, we talked about, like, the kids, like, they have to navigate going to different homes, all the time too. But I just thinking of how different it is for them and Avery on a regular basis. Like, if I could have gone back and looked at it through their lens a little bit differently. And even through Amanda's. As here I am, a 40-some-year-old new mom. She's a young mom. And all of a sudden having to not have her kids half the time. I didn't, in the moment at that time, think about that for her. Because I was just stuck and caught up in how different it was for me. And navigating what that looked like.
What do you think you would have done differently if you would have had that perspective at the time?
Oh, I would have not said certain things. I would have, like, my intentions were always good.
Sure.
Always good. But I don't think I thought enough before some things came out of my mouth. And how I said things, or because I didn't think of them from Amanda's perspective, or even from Bill's perspective sometimes. I would, because again, here I am, this 40-some-year-old person with my life upside down, all for fabulous reasons, because all of these children are amazing. And then it got a little more complicated. Because like I said in the beginning, Bill really needed me to be hands-on parent, like, Jane's still in diapers and like all of the stuff, right? But then as they got older, as they got like tween years, 11, 12, we had some bumpy stuff going on and communication stuff with the kids, and Bill asked me to step back as a parent from them.
Wow.
Like take a different role
Sure.
in parenting them.
Okay.
And at first it was really hard to hear that and hard to do that. But then it was kind of a little more freedom where I didn't have to be the heavy. I didn't have to be the disciplining parent. I could just be the listening parent. Or, but that was a super challenging time in our marriage and in our relationship with the kids. So yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And just to be clear for anyone listening, Amanda is Bill's ex and Jane and Jackson's mother.
Yes, so
I know
sorry.
we're talking about Amanda like
Everybody should know who she is because she's so amazing.
Really though, you should know who she is.
You should.
What do you think if you could go back and do anything differently? I mean, I know you said that you maybe wouldn't have said certain things, maybe you would have navigated things differently. What specifically between you and Bill do you think you would have done anything differently in terms of like your marriage? Like if you had to go back and redo that part of it, is there anything different you would have done? Because I listen to you talk, and when you say things like, I didn't think of like how it impacted him, I think that's hard to do in any kind of marriage or any kind of relationship. You always, I think the default human nature is kind of think of yourself and what it's doing to you. But I just wonder, would that have changed your actions had you have been, I guess, more conscious of how things impacted him?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
You could say no.
I think when specifically going back to the time that was really bumpy.
Yeah.
I think that he did us a huge service in our marriage by asking me to step back in how I parented Jane and Jackson. But then also just in how he let me go through whatever emotional, my dad had also passed away like right around that time. So I went like emotionally, I was not really available. I wasn't like, I was not in a really good place. And instead of trying to push me through, he just let me be and let me kind of bake. He didn't like just like write me off. He just let me kind of figure it out.
Sure.
And then I think personally what I would have done differently is I would have leaned into my faith more at that time, because I didn't. Like that, when I look back at even the trajectory of our whole marriage and how far we've come we've gone to the same church for the whole time I've known him, we've gone pretty much, or the whole time that we've been together, we've gone to the same church. So, but in terms of really leaning into my faith and leaning into allowing that to kind of form me in the moment, I didn't let that happen at that time. That's what I would have done differently, is I would have leaned on people in my life who would help direct me or help guide me to let some things go and not have to do it by myself or figure it out by myself, because we can't always do that when you're going through that much complexity and stuff. So
That's a really good answer. I like that. Okay, a couple more questions for you, and then we're going to wrap up.
All right.
Fast forward to today.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of dived into the deep end. It's been a little messy along the way. But Avery's 13.
Yeah.
Jane and Jackson are like almost out of the house. Well, Jackson is.
Jackson's a freshman in college.
And Jane's a senior?
She's a junior.
Junior. Okay. So, I mean, looking ahead, you've got, I don't know, depending on what Avery does in life and what your guys' kind of household stance is on things, maybe 5 to, 7-ish years of a kid left in the house. Have you thought about how that will impact your life when you, 'cause for so long now, kids have kind of been the center of your and Bill's life.
Yeah.
So what are your plans? What are you thinking about it? Or are you not?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not, because I'm not ready for that part. Like, it's still so, I mean, it is really hard right now because there's a different dynamic with Jackson at school, and Jane, even though she's not away at college, like, she kind of shifted out when he moved out, like, because she now drives, she has a job, she's like gone a lot of the time.
She's your own person.
Yeah. So, like, even though she's there, she's off running and doing stuff. So, and then Avery is at that age where now she's doing things with friends. And so, but I'm just not ready to think about what that will be once they're all out.
Yeah, you've got several years. I won't wish it away for you.
Yeah, no. Not yet. I do love that the people who are in our lives, like, and Amanda and John, so Amanda's husband, John, now, like, we spend so much time with them, and they are like a part of our family now. So the great thing I look forward to when I think about our future, when the kids are not in our house, it still has all of us connected, whatever that might look like.
Sure.
Because, I mean, Amanda and I and Bill and John have all, like, we've gone out on dates, and when Bill's mom recently passed away, and I cared for his mom. She lived down in Egan. And so, like, I took a leave of absence from work, and Amanda stepped right in to, like, she slept at our house and took care of Avery and got her where she needed to go and took care of our dog and all of that stuff. And so we are solidified as a family, regardless of, I think, our kids being kids anymore. So when I do look at the future, it does involve that.
That's sweet.
Because they're definitely family. So.
You have a very atypical relationship with your husband's ex, right?
Yes, we do. We do. And, it's, people think it's weird. I mean, some people probably think it's weird. And we don't really care. Like, we love that we have that kind of relationship with them. And I love that my daughter loves Amanda and John. She loves spending time with them. They have come to our family functions, and my family, like my extended family, my brother, my sister, my mom. At first, a couple times were like, "God, you're really having them overlap." I'm like, they're part of our family, and so now it's kind of more normal. It's just
Everyone
normal.
expects it now.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It works for you.
It works for us.
Maybe
and
not
we love
everyone.
them. Right.
And that's fine.
It is fine. We've all just evolved and granted each other lots of patience and grace and
I was going to say, it sounds like lots of
understanding.
grace. Yeah.
Lots of grace. Yeah.
How mature? One last question for you, Jamie, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
What is your favorite part of being a mom?
My favorite part of being a mom. God, that's just really hard.
I know there's lots of favorites.
Well, it's different for each phase, I think, of your kid's age.
Give me a couple then.
Right? Like just the moment when they walk up on the side of you and they grab your hand and they walk with you, and just, and then just the reality is, it's so cliche, but it's so true. Like people say, when you have a kid, like it's like your heart is outside of your body walking around. And it is. And it's so amazing to watch them flourish and watch them become their own person, and to hear them say things and you go, wow, that just came out of our kid's mouth. Like how they treat someone, or when they're telling a story about something, or, hearing Jane and Jackson navigate friendships, and like some of my favorite moments, this was really hard when Jackson went to college, was because he would always come home and we would just talk around the island. Like that's how we unpacked his day. And so I miss those moments, but to hear, and Jane does it now too at the table, like just talk about their friendships and talk about navigating this and that, and to just hear them work things out. It's like almost you can audibly hear their brains navigating their personality and how they're just developing into these amazing people.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Jamie, you've been an awesome guest.
Well, thanks.
Was there anything that you're just dying to get off your chest I didn't ask you?
I don't think so. I feel like I talked all the way around everything.
It was perfect. You were a wonderful guest. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, you bet.
And thank you for the listeners for joining as well. I invite you to tune in again next week for another insightful conversation. And if you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. See you next time.